Wow, so pretty. Yeah, it's a Miata video. Sorry. Got the new mud guards on there. Now there was an accessory that I ordered for this car, what is it, 3 months ago, I think it was. And for whatever reason, I can't think of anything going on right now that would cause this, but there's been some production delays in Germany. And, well, yeah. So this accessory, hold on. Well, it's not as much an accessory as it is a replacement. So, one of the biggest complaints that Miata owners have had for years, well, of the first generation Miata, is the center console. The center console has been a weak point in the design of this car, to the point where a company in Germany has invested tens of thousands of dollars in tooling costs to redesign it. And this is the original one. And it is awful. Let me tell you why it's awful. Because the center console, the cup holder location right here, is in the worst possible location. So if you have a big gulp sitting here, you have to shift like this. It's really not fun. And so having to shift with your arm, twist it around like this, it causes fatigue, and it's just plain uncomfortable. And not only that, but there's not a lot of enclosed storage for things. The center console storage compartment is just that big. Now, if you have the optional ashtray accessory, well, you can forget about having cup holders, because guess what? That's where the ashtray goes. So it's just a shitty design. You know, it's the one thing that has been a constant source of frustration for first-gen Miata owners. So what are we going to do about it? This box contains the solution to all of your Miata center console woes. And let's crack it open. IL Motorsports is the company that made these nifty plastic OEM replacement splash guards. And they also make this really cool, really awesome, unique foam muffin. Yes, that's right. This foam muffin is going to solve all... Oh, there's more foam muffins! I like me some foam muffins. Look at these little foam muffins. Oh man, these are going to be so fun to throw around in the summer. Holy crap. Screw this. I don't need it. Alright, let's take a look. So this came all the way over from Germany. I think it did. They might have outsourced it to China, but we don't know. We'll find out in a minute. Let me put the camera down. I'm going to keep... I just want to point out, before we get too far into this, we're going to be keeping the original one, but it's going to go in... I'm going to store it. I'm not getting rid of it. Wow, this thing is awesome. Holy wow. This thing is just... Hold on. I'm gonna cut the umbilical cord there. This is really slick and heavy too. Unbelievable. Wow, this thing is quality. Let me show you what I'm talking about in a minute here. Let's see what we got. All right, so check this out. So in this redesigned console, now this comes with or without cup holders. If you're a sadistic mofo, you can get it without cup holders. But what they've done is they've reallocated or kind of remixed it, if you will. They've put a little compartment on the side here for your pens and your pencils and your vape pens or whatever you got. Then they moved the cup holders over to here on the side, and it's got this nice pebble grain finish, which that's pretty classy. I like it. The window switches get moved from about over here to here. I don't see any spot where they may have repurposed the light. There's actually a light in the OEM console, so I don't see where they put that. Now the idea is you've got to reuse your shifter boot as well as your lock. So let's go ahead and rip the old one out. Where'd that foam muffin go? Oh, there's the foam muffin. Oh, I'm going to throw these at Amelia. Bombardment! Okay, so I got that little foam thing right there, see? It was a comment made by one of my YouTube viewers who probably didn't notice that and suggested I do something like that. To him I said, I've already done that. Way ahead of you, pal! Okay. The car neutral. We're going to take the shifter knob off. Now, I actually kept the OEM shift knob on this car because I like it. It's got a nice weight to it. There we go. Okay, that comes off first, so we don't forget. Okay, I'm going to take this cup holder. Yeah, I'm not throwing away any of these parts. They're coming out. They're going to go right into storage. I'll just put them up in the attic somewhere or something. We're going to keep our screws. Take these screws out. This car is a challenge to work on sometimes because it's so tiny. Let me put the camera down. Alright, so we've undone all the screws. And let's see if we can get this in the shot here, how to remove it. There's a lot of videos on the web on how to take this thing out, but I find that if you lift it up slightly in the back, pull it back a little bit, and then lift the it up over the shifter, and then there's a wire here for the light and the window switches. I'm gonna undo those. The battery's disconnected in the car, but I mean, I don't think that's necessary for sure, but I'm going to take the whole thing out. Now we got to bring it out onto the bench, put the car in park, and then that's what you're left with. So let's get this thing under the bench. Okay, now she's going to go under the knife. I forgot to get the knife. Where's the knife? Kids, don't get old. Party hard and die young. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. It's when you get old, everything hurts anyway. Let's see. I'm sorry about the camera angle, guys. I'm going to try to do this in a way that doesn't suck. Easier said than done. Alright, so we need to salvage the... I'm going to put some rags out. I don't want to ruin this thing. I may decide to put it back in someday, right? So let's take out the window switches, bitches. It's held in by 3 screws. A couple of zip ties. What's amazing to me is the quality feel of the new one actually is better than the original. This is just a flimsy, production grade plastic part that, costs the manufacturer pennies on the dollar. The new one, it feels a bit, well, it has a nice quality feel to it, as I emphasized in the video. I mean, it just feels like it was made with pride. And, is that just a clip? Okay, yeah, that's just clipped in. That comes out like that. Now I got to take the shifter boot. If you're replacing your shifter boot, now's a good time to do it. Mine is still in really good condition, so it's totally not necessary. shifter boot's just held in by 4 screws. Now this is important. I believe you are not supposed to use the screws that come off the old console because they will poke through on the new one. The new console actually comes with all new screws. So, and I just noticed that light is there, and I don't think there's any provision to reuse it. So we might even not put it back. We'll just leave it on the old console. But we'll clean this up real good. Bring it inside. I'm going to clean this up and take our window switches out. And it's unfortunate that they didn't put any way to use that light. I mean, that's kind of nice to have, right? All right, so we're also going to need the lock. And maybe even this rubber grommet. I'm going to check and see if there's a... I don't think the new one came with that rubber piece. So I think that has to be reused. Let's take a look at it. Put that aside. Here's a new one. Yeah, God, this thing is well made. But it looks... Now, one thing that does concern me a little bit, as somebody who just paid almost $300 for this thing, it is painted. It is definitely painted. I don't really like painted plastic because, well, when they get scratched, they show it and you know it. So we want to be super careful. Use plenty of rags, protect the surface as you're putting it together. Let's see, there's a screw hole here. Let's take a look at the instructions if there's anything that mentions that light. No, that's not the case. So I don't know what these are for. If that's a mistake, I don't know. But anyways, a little bit of flashing there. I'm not really sure how that's supposed to set in. That's the original one. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's what the longer screws are for. Oh yeah, it came with some nice long screws here. But very little in the way of instructions, I'll tell you that. Now these screws, they look too long. I saw a photo or a video of somebody who just installed one of these, and it was a little bit unnerving because what they had done is they used these included screws and they poked through the other side. So I'm a little weary about that, but I don't know. Let's just see how this goes together. Yeah, there are very, very little in the way of instructions. So, all right, let's get the window switches back in. They just slide right in like that. And then we're going to use these little guys, or is there other screws that it came with? I don't know what this pin's for. Does it link up to anything in here? Or was it in the original one? No. I kind of wonder what that pin's all about. But yeah, they don't give you that nice little rubber thing either. So yeah, it's a little low rent here and there, but I don't know what that pin's all about. It doesn't seem to do anything. There's another one on this end too. And also it doesn't really connect to anything. So now this is not in the brochure, but you have to break off these tabs that are for cable routing purposes. So that sucks. Well, at least one of them has to be broken off, so we're going to break it off. Oakley dokley. So we've got all the stuff transferred. I ended up having to use the screws that they included, just the way they made it. They did not poke through, so just, be careful. can't reuse the old light. There's no provision for it anywhere. And we're just going to have to leave that out. That's fine. Well, it's not like we have a cigarette lighter in here anyway. Okay. The one disappointing thing is, again, there's just a rough opening here. There's no beautiful rubber grommet, but that's, I mean, you know, for what they're selling these for. Again, they must have paid tens of thousands of dollars for tooling. Tooling is not cheap. So while it may just be a piece of plastic, you've got to figure in the cost of tooling and engineering to design something like this. And for a car that was only in production with that console for 7 years, well, I guess that's quite a bit. The NAs were made from 1989 until about model year 2000, model year 89 to 97. So, I mean, there's a lot of these cars on the road all over the world, but again, how many folks are interested in spending $300 to have something like this in their car? Well, you know. Anyway, I love it. So we are keeping the original one, like I said. That's going to go in this box, and I'm going to stuff it up in the attic or something. We're not getting rid of it. Don't worry. Don't cry for it. It's not going anywhere. We're not throwing good parts away. But anyway, let's see how it fits. I'm a little upset that I lost that little clip to hold this stupid thing back so it doesn't interfere with the shifter, but, you know, you gotta give a little to get a little, I guess. You'll notice the hardware bag contains these screws. That's because these are longer than the original screws. And you're going to want to screw it into the front first and then do the rear. But these should line up. Yeah, I see how that works. So that lines up right there with the original holes in the floor. Wow, I like this. It's got, it's nice. All right, let me put these in first. And when you drop a screw, good luck getting it back. I think it's gone forever. It's under the seat here. If I could lay eyes on it, I could put a magnet out and go fishing. It's kind of cold. Chilly in here. Let's go magnet fishing. Hopefully we'll find the damn thing. Yeah, I dropped one of the bespoke long screws, and it landed in between the seat and the carpeting. No. Oh, there it is. Now, one of the major precautions that I must impart upon you, the viewing audience, is that this plastic, although with a nice finish, it is not the strongest plastic. I believe it'll be quite brittle compared to what was coming out. It won't take much to crack it. So just keep that in mind. You know, just tight enough so that it doesn't rattle loose and vibrate. All right, now we get these screws in. You've got these nice long screws. Let me just put these in. Okay. She's installed. Look at that. I figured out what those metal pins were. Those are the hinges. So this actually has a nice metal hinge built into it. That's actually a nice touch. But you can put a lot more stuff in here. And I believe they actually sell a pre-cut, put your pens right here. You put your knives and your sanitizer, and you know, I'm going to probably cut a piece of rubber to go in there. I'm not going to pay for theirs. I think they charge a fortune for it, so. And the rest of the parts are going to go in the box with the original one. We're not getting rid of anything. But, you know, these cutouts still work like they're supposed to. And the lock should work as it's supposed to. Let's try it out, make sure it locks. Here's my key. Oh, I don't have the key to this car and this keychain anymore, so forget that. I'm sure it works fine. Put the finishing touches on, and I got one more surprise. Well, it's not really a surprise. It's more of a... I was going on a spending spree in this car, and I shelled out a little extra cash for this nice option that they offer for this very nice, very comfortable padded. Oh, did I say padded? Well, it is now, because look what I got. This is the accessory arm pad that they offer for this console for their products. They have a couple of different. Oh wait, there we go. It just pops in there like that. Look at that. Nice styling, comfortable. A lot more space than before. I can now shift, and I can have my drinks right here. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. It's got little drains. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay. Now, let's see how she works out. Oh my god. Need a bigger garage. Or a smaller car. Which one's more feasible? Okay, it looks like this thing froze over. People come to our house for parties and they bring all their drinks. Whatever's left over gets left in the fridge. Alright. Oh my god. So now I can have my water right there. Or right there for my lovely girl. And I can shift gears unimpeded. I love it. Well, that's how you put it together. That's how it goes in the car. Any questions or comments? Ask somebody else because they'll probably know. I love the little pen holder. I love it. It's the greatest invention ever. The improved NA Miata shifter console. Nice. I thought I got all the leaves out of this car. I guess not. Oh man. So that brings the total number of modifications to this car to 3, 4 if you count the splash guards. And that's because, so I installed the Mazda Miata interior light kit. So I have lights down there now, and that wires into the existing dome light. I've also done the, also from Moss, I installed the parking brake boot, which I did that because the plastic cover that goes over it was kind of chalky and brittle, so I put that over it to make it look a little bit better. And of course the center console, which is that's a slick accessory. If you can, it took me 3 months to get this thing, so I'm super excited. May not have been that much, maybe 2 months. 2 months conservatively, but all right, she's a done deal now. Now, hopefully, I'll be getting this thing cleaned. Not cleaned, but I want to get it buffed properly in the springtime, and then we'll do some car shows. Hopefully, the car shows will be they'll be back up and running again for next year. I'm hoping. Car shows are fun. You get to see what other people do to their cars, and you know, I get really excited about the cars that are left alone. But just some things, if there's a better way to do it, do it. Like the center console. I mean, I I had no qualms about putting that in because it's a reversible modification. So if for whatever reason the thing cracks up into pieces in 6 months, I can take it out, put the original one back in. But the other thing is, it's really a safety thing because trying to shift gears on the highway when you've got one of those big gulp things. Okay, I drink iced coffee. I love my iced coffee, and I have an iced coffee every time I go out on a drive. And it's just what I do. I love my iced coffee. And it just gets in the way. So, I mean, I've missed shifts because of it. And then when my girlfriend's in the car, she has to have something in there too. You know, so we've got 2 cups full of whatever. It's just a nightmare. But I like modifications that are tasteful and sympathetic to the car's design. But when I go to car shows, I don't go crazy over the cars that have the bolt-on modifications that they got at, J.C. Whitney or whatever. I look for the cars that have some character, the ones that were done tastefully. I suspect that as technology marches along, we're going to start seeing a lot of street rods and, classic cars overall that have been modified for electric use. We're going to see a lot of that, I suspect, in the very near future. It's already happening, but they're electrifying classic cars. And while it doesn't have the visual appeal of a built-up V8 engine or whatever you got, it is definitely something that will become more and more common, as time moves on. For the record, I like my gasoline-powered internal combustion engines. That's just what I was raised on. That's what I like. That's what I enjoy working on. I don't think I'll ever get as excited about a finely tuned gas engine as I ever will about an electric car conversion, but that's just my own personal taste. So anyway, so I gotta get the old one boxed up. I'm gonna throw it up there probably when the weather's better and I can get this car out of here, and I gotta get a ladder to put it up there. So for now, I'm probably gonna put it right there. Forgot I bought this insulation. This was for something, but it's just going to waste here. Anyway, so that's all I got for you now. Thank you for watching, and hopefully in the springtime we'll have this thing righteously buffed and cleaned, and it's going to be nice. Alrighty. Oreo loves these things. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you with it. It's just batting it all over the place. Here. He's trying to pick it up with his teeth. Hey, why are you filming me? Alright. Look at him, he's staring at it. Oops, I didn't mean to hit you. Now what? Oh, you don't want to chase it now? Oh, you're mad. Alright, I'm going to throw it down the stairs. He's trying to pick it up with his teeth. He gave up. Oh, he found a box. Now he's going to go in the box.